Welcome to Paul's Heart. I'm Paul, author of the book Paul's Heart Life as a Dad and a 35-Year Cancer Survivor, available on Amazon. You can also find me on YouTube at the address at Paul's Heart, PaulsHeart. Please go and visit that YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the videos that I'm posting. I want to talk about becoming a parent and cancer. Now, I've only got 10 minutes to explain everything, so I'm not going to be able to cover everything. Instead, I'm going to focus on one particular aspect of becoming a parent. And you've got three basic time periods. Of course, you've got before being diagnosed with cancer, getting diagnosed during cancer, or after you've been diagnosed with cancer, and then, of course, after. Um, we're not going to talk about that on this video. The next thing you have then is how you become a parent. If you're going to go through biological means or through scientific means, such as in vitro fertilization or artificial insemination, or also the option of adoption. And adoption is the one that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Um, Basically, depending where you're at in this process, okay, for all intents and purposes, I was diagnosed at 22 years of age, so I was quite young, not necessarily thinking about having kids, but face it, cancer treatments can be quite difficult to maintain sterility. I'm really not sure what the stats are for men versus women, but what I can tell you, if you go to my blog site, which is www.paulsheart.com, I've shared stories over the years of other cancer survivors who have gone on to actually have biological children. In fact, one I'm going to give a shout out to right now. Her name is Stephanie. She has two handsome, you know, great looking boys, and they've got personalities on them. Couldn't be happier for her. Then you've got another survivor. I'll give another shout out to Christy, who not only had her own children, but is on her way as a new grandparent. So these are the various things that as survivors we get to look forward to. Um, but from in my case, the chemotherapy cocktail that I've been given, which is no longer used, pretty much guaranteed that I was not going to be able to have biological children on my own. And it got to the point where, with my former spouse, uh, who had no known fertility issues, was put into a situation where she had to come to terms with something very quickly, something that I had already resolved, knowing that I couldn't have kids. But the very likelihood that what was more important to her, actually giving birth to a child or becoming a parent. And, all these things, when you're dealing with cancer and survivorship and stuff like that, to have to think about something else like that, um, what like I said, I tried to explain it to her, trying to focus it down to what was going to be more important. Because chances are, if we continue to try through artificial means, just for the sake of her being able to give birth, there was a chance that we weren't going to be able to succeed. And, because of finances involved and age, there was a chance then that we wouldn't become parents at all. So the question really was, do you want to become a parent or do you want to give birth? And those are two totally different ideals. We were both in our mid to late 30s. Time was not on our side, money was not on our side. We had to make that choice. And we chose to adopt. And we chose to adopt internationally. If you go to, again, my website, you will see pictures of my daughters. I will show you right now. I've got a couple. This is the adoption of my younger daughter. who was adopted 3 days from now. It'll be 19 years. And then this was the first time. This was my older daughter. She's also in her 20s now. And this was when my younger daughter was handed to me. Um, I can't tell you what it's like to actually go through the birth process because I've never experienced that. But what I can tell you is that emotionally, to have a child placed in your arms, looking straight up at you, eyes connecting, there's no greater feeling in the world. And that's when I know that I became a parent. Um, as a cancer survivor, as as I often hype, I'm 35 years out. My actual remission anniversary will be coming up March 3rd, and that will be 35 years officially in remission. Um, but one of the greatest things about my survivorship is that I've gotten to watch both of those two girls grow up. It's been 21 years for my older one, 19 years for my younger daughter, but I've gotten to watch them grow up, and now, you know, they drive my survivorship. They are my world. Being a parent is the best thing about being a cancer survivor, at least for now. Should my daughters decide that they want to make me a grandparent, I look forward to that as well. But like I said, there's a lot that goes into the decisions of being a parent and how you become a parent. I go into a lot more detail in my book. The testing that I went through, the decisions that I had to go through, they're all discussed more in detail in the book. But yeah, I'm a happy survivor. I've got two amazing daughters that I've gotten to watch grow up. And, I know that they are happy that dad is still here after all this time. Until next time, this is Paul's Heart.